Good morning, everyone. It's day 39. When I get to the end of these challenges, I'm so proud of myself that I made it through most of the days anyways, and I hope that you guys have too. I know it's so good to see everyone coming day after day after day. So I was saying that after tomorrow's the last day of this particular challenge, 40 days, and I'll be taking the weekend off. And then after that, I think for a little while, we're just gonna do a regular live every morning with no particular subject. I'll just kind of go with what feels good for me or what I feel called that we should talk about that day. Good morning, Heather. I was just saying today is day 39. So we're almost done. I was this morning, well, last night I had a session with someone that it was probably the freakiest session I've ever had. We had some like literal, I don't even know like a poltergeist kind of situation going on last night in a session, and we didn't have the video on, and it's I hate it because we literally saw stuff going on beyond like what should be going on, and the person, her hair literally was being picked up by something that we couldn't see. And so I don't know, it was pretty amazing to watch. And I wanted to today talk a little bit about fear, because that session last night was something happening that it was in conjunction with stuff I was seeing in my head, and her expressing a very deep fear about being herself, which literally caused something to happen within like the physical world that shouldn't be, right? Her hair was literally being picked up, and like she couldn't even get it. It was like somebody was holding her hair up. And but the beyond like me, that's not something I usually deal with in sessions, right? So my response, hers was just looking at what was happening, and my response was, what the fuck? I kept saying it, talking about like, it would have been like a bloopers of what not to do. I'm just laughing now to look at it. Yeah, it was pretty wild. And we were both like, oh my God, I can't wait to go and tell everybody about this. She felt the same way. But so the most interesting part though, I think, is we were talking about deep fears, like the deepest fears that you may have within yourself, that something literally prevents you from being your best self, because there's this fear so deep inside that if you express yourself, you express how you feel, you go out of your comfort zone to do better for yourself, something so scary comes up for you that it sits you back down. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Has that happened? Does anybody have an association with this idea? And I think it's interesting because there's a lot of people who do my job, right? Who do what I do, but I don't think everyone can truly I don't think everyone lives with it. There's different extents of how it feels, right? And I see all of you guys, like, and I know you guys well enough to know I can completely understand what you're saying and what you go through. And I do Definitely. I do. I feel it a lot. It's that we can call it sabotage, and that's kind of a mild word for it. I think for like our daily things, but when we're doing something really big, wow, it's amazing, right? Like the things that can happen to get in your way. Yeah. And for me, like I've literally seen, there's been parts of me, there's this little girl part of me, she's a teenager, she's like maybe 12, she's me. But when I was really starting to do this and I wanted to get out there and like be seen, she would literally come up and, the girl in the ring that comes out of the TV with the like black everywhere, she would stand in front of me, and it was me. Like eventually I learned it was me just trying to like do whatever I had to do not to do. It's like the ultimate like procrastination, or like I can't do that because this really scary girl is standing in my way that looks like she's a demon. Literally. And I really had to learn how to dismantle what was underneath her appearance to me, and because it was just a facade, it was just something, some part of me that was like, okay, if you're really scared, you won't move forward, so that my younger parts don't have to face their fears. Yeah. Heather, oh my God, this is me too. All black, blocked totally and completely. There's no girl, just a black sinking hole. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we have to face our fears, right? I last night was challenged with that, right? Because I asked a question from Enoch, which is like, he's like a grandfather to me. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Because I was seeing a lot of stuff going on. And I just went to go do a Reiki attunement. And this is like, I saw a lot of stuff in her energy. And I literally heard like, it was like an exorcism. But I'm choosing, I really had to like go around with my belief system. Like, what the hell do I believe here? Is there demons, or are we our biggest fear? And going with the idea that we get to choose what we believe, and what we believe is our reality. And I'm also a lover of horror movies, right? So I have a lot of fuel for the fire, that I have to sort through. But I really chose because I've been thinking about this situation all night long, like what happened during a session and how do I support her now? And I'm choosing to believe that we have to face our fears, and our fears can be pretty freaking scary, and they can be put there by ourselves. And whether it's just our life game that we have to play, and the levels get super hard, and it just is like, what is the Mario game in the Haunted Mansion, or is that Luigi? One of those. We have to fight our fears, and our fears may look like demons. Gypsy, 2 nights ago, I bumped into an entity in my bedroom. I said, go away. I don't have time for you. It was a shadow darkness that stopped me in my tracks. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Hannah. We're talking about our biggest fears and how they can manifest into really scary, ugly things. So what do we do about that? The other thing I heard last night, because I had this really strong, this was a feeling I think I had before I was working with this session, that I didn't have enough time. And there wasn't any particular thing I was worried about. Just this feeling like I don't have enough time to do everything I need to do. And it was so strong. And then when I was sitting down and I'm like, okay, why do I feel this way? You know what the solution is? If we don't have enough time, we have too much to do, can't get to everything, slow down. And I think that that is a thing that we can use in conjunction with the things that we're afraid of. Because sometimes when we're headed in a particular direction, you guys know, like most of you guys that are here every day, you know I'm getting ready to launch my next, we're out of the beta and we're going into the actual launch of my program. Magic Carpet Ride is going to be like a real thing. And with you guys' help, it's a thing. I'm doing great, right? This program is amazing. Everybody's happy. I'm happy. So now I have to start talking about it again. I have to like go out and say to people, hey, I have this program and like now I'm charging the proper amount and it's a thing. It's not just, oh, I'm trying this out. It's a thing. So now I'm feeling like I can't get it all done and there's so much to do and there's not enough time and that's my scared parts. I keep coughing too. It's all of like my throat stuff. But the solution is just slow the hell down. Just slow down and get it done, right? We put up all these roadblocks of like, it's the overwhelm, right? Shauna said it. It's the overwhelm. You're not doing a freaking thing, but you're still overwhelmed. So, and that's the fear. That's all our parts inside saying, no, this is too big. No, I can't be seen that much. No, I can't have anybody else telling me I'm doing a good job because it feels like uncomfortable, right? So I'm just going to like spin around in circles. I'm getting to my point too about what we're going to do today because I can feel it. So how many of you guys know when you're doing something big or you're pushing into something that you're afraid of? And all of a sudden everything feels overwhelming and like almost like the energy is too much or it's too fast or it's too whirling or it's frenetic. Do you guys know, like I'm sure some of you know what I mean, in a horror movie, because we were dealing with this last night, in a horror movie or The Ghost Whisperer, if anybody ever watched that show, when there was a spirit that was mad or like really feeling haunted, they would do that frenetic, like, you know what I mean, like that frenetic feeling. I think from my personal experience, that's kind of what happens. We get overwhelmed and we have a lot of frenetic energy around us that is ineffective. It's ineffective in taking action. It just basically makes you be frozen because you're in a frenzy, right? Yes, Shauna, definitely one way is to literally shake it off. Dance, shake your body, shake your limbs. I remember back in yoga school, I was starting to have an anxiety attack, and I remember just sitting there, like just shaking my body, shaking and shaking and shaking, because it will get rid of that frenetic feeling. And the other thing, and this is what we're going to do, because this all connects with our nervous system, right? You have a big thing you want to do, you're like challenging yourself, and then you start to have anxiety or you start to feel overwhelmed. And if you tune into your energy, it will feel, throw me some words, you guys, because there's a lot of words for that, right? What does it feel like when you feel overwhelmed? And if you tune into your energy, the other day it actually felt like, you know, when you're scrolling through TikTok or whatever, when I tuned in, that's what it felt like. Like my thoughts were going so fast that it was just like this scrolling feeling. Heather says impossible. Shauna, my husband thinks I'm crazy because I'll crazy dance all the time, even in public, but I make it funny. Yeah, I'm with you, Shauna. And I was dancing in the grocery store last night. I was trying to get my daughter. I love dancing in the grocery store. A tornado, absolutely, Heather. That is a really good word for it. A tornado, like a back and forth. You guys who have used the scales, like standing on the scale, it can feel like you're not like steady. All up in your head, a lot of pressure, a lot of ringing in your ears, dizziness, headache from the tension, lots of stuff, right? So there's so many tools, and I was actually doing it this morning. You know, we've done a few meditations of breathing into our body, breathing into our body, breathing into our body, which allows you to connect with the energy that is not calm, to keep bringing in the calm, bringing in the calm, bringing in the calm. Whoa, that's a huge one, Shauna. Clenched jaws. That's like, if I was to claim one thing that is the hardest for me, is that's where all of my tension goes, is my jaw. But what's really interesting, and I'm just going to speak to about myself as far as my jaw, that's where slowing down helps. I think our jaw and our tightness is to push. It's literally, if you think about the amount of pounds that, I don't know the proper numbers, but when we're eating food, right? Yep. The TMJ is definitely prevalent with tension, like when we hold our tension here. But the amount of poundage that it takes to chew your food, and then to just be doing that just because, you know, we're holding on too tight, it's a lot. And it will eventually, your eyes start twitching, right? Your ears hurt, your ears are ringing, your neck is too tight, all of that. It's all connected, all up here. So, but I think a way to treat it is to slow down. Just slow down, like slow your energy down. And that's what we're going to do today. Slow your energy down. Slow your thinking down. Slow the idea down that you have to hurry up and do something, or hurry up and figure something out. Because it's a trap. Because that's what we do. We're like, oh, I got to figure this out. I have to do this. Right? That word, those words. I have to do this. And then we don't even do it. We just stress about it. I have to do this. I have to get this done. I have to hurry up. I have to clean my house. I have to, you know, instead of saying to ourselves, I'm just going to go and like do 5 minutes of dishes. We do a lot of, instead, I have to do this. And then beat ourselves up. You know, why didn't we do this? So why is that blah, blah, blah. So we all like squeeze the pressure, turn the dial up on our stuff, instead of just saying like, okay, I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to slow myself down, and then I'm going to go do a couple minutes of whatever I need to do. And so there's a lot. Taking a hooky day off. Absolutely. I haven't heard that word in so long. Shauna, we punish ourselves. Yeah. Why do we do that? And how can we be great? It makes me laugh. How can we be great if we're like shitting on ourselves 100% of the time? And you know, even like me over here, like I talk about, hey guys, do this. And I know all my tools and I do my tools. And sometimes it feels like if I have to use one more of my tools today, do you guys ever feel like that? Like, why can't I just sit down and like, whatever, you know, I gotta use one more of my tools so that I can get straight. Karen Sander put the idea in my head. The hooky day, I love that. Play hooky. We should all play hooky, definitely. Heather, just leave the toolbox open. Yeah. Yep. All right, so How about turning the volume down? How about settling our energy? I just had a really good visual. I think we could do a tiny little mind trip. And in the mind trip, I want to walk into a room that represents how your energy is right now. So it's like a giant reflection of, if you could take your human glasses off, what does my energy look and feel or even smell like, right? Let's try that and see how that goes. I might have to get a drink of water. I literally, before I came on, spent about 30 minutes relaxing my throat area. You can tell. Okay, so let's do a little mind trip. Go ahead and just take a seat or lay down and take a deep breath. Those of you who are new to mind trips, basically a mind trip is we're going to do a guided imagery to go do some exploration. And you just let your non-physical senses, because you're in your imagination, just come to the surface, just as if you were awake, but you're in this imaginary world that you can build, like a lucid dream. Okay, so take a couple of deep breaths. And bringing your vision within and just bring it right down to your heart. You're not looking on the outside, we're looking on the inside. Bringing your attention to your hearing, bringing your hearing down, all the way down your throat and down to your heart. Bringing your attention to the center of your body and pulling in all of your energy that may be out flitting around. You want to have all your attention within yourself for this exercise. And then when you're ready, we're going to kind of strike out on our path. This path could be anything, any path, anywhere, on the beach, in the mountains, in the city. But moving out onto this path, let's begin right away asking for expressions of how you are feeling today, how your energy is behaving today. So as you're looking around, wherever you are, what do you see? What do you hear? Are there people around? And just try to imagine that you're being 100% honest with yourself. So if things may look beautiful or things may not be so pretty, but just let it be what it is. Just keep asking, show me how I feel so that I can adjust it if I want to. And then as you're walking down your path, just get very deep into your non-physical senses. Touch things, smell things, hear things. Look around. Make some noise. Holler out and see if someone hollers back to you. Liz, this is for you. We're going to say happy birthday to Kate. Everybody say happy birthday to Kate in your imagination if you'd like to. Okay, so we're going to walk down our path and we're looking for our building. If you already have a building, go ahead and head towards your door to come in. If this is new to you, you're looking for a building that's specific to you. So you can either come upon your building or you can build a building. And all you really need in this building that could look like anything is to be able to walk into the building. So find your door that's best for you. And go ahead and walk in the door. And if you've been here before, just explore, see if there's any new things, any changes, or anything you'd like to change. And if this is new to you, just explore a little bit what it looks like inside or outside. Sometimes for people, it's just going to another area that is maybe a beach or a cave or whatever it might be. Now what we're going to look for is a hallway with doors. And you're looking for a door with the label that says a room that represents how your energy is right now, or an example of what your energy looks like, or my energy room. Before you go in, just take a look at the door. It's a good place to explore what is held inside. So what color is the door? Are there any markings on the door? What is it made out of? And then when you're ready, you can open the door and go in with the idea of this is a visual representation of what your energy is doing right now. Now there's a couple of ways to go. You may walk into the room and it may be right there. You know, you may see stuff in the air. You may feel something. There may be somebody there to tell you. If that's true and it's very evident to you what's going on, go ahead and explore what's going on. Go ahead and touch the air or talk to the person that may be in the room. Don't try to change anything right away. Just be the observer. Be curious. If nothing is going on, I want you to sit in the middle of the room and just ask to see. Ask to see. Ask to hear. What is my energy doing? What does it feel like? What color is it? Is it calm? Is it smooth? Is it chaotic? Can you touch it? So if you have curiosities of like what's going on, you can ask someone you trust, anyone at all, to sit with you and talk to you about it. So you have another being to say, hey, what's going on here? What does this mean? And then what we're going to do is, as you're in the middle of the room, what we're going to do, if your space is beautiful and comfy and you're loving what's going on, just enjoy it. If it feels like it needs to calm down or dial down or be a little bit lighter, I'm going to offer a couple of suggestions. One, you can tune into the middle of yourself and how you feel, and just start to imagine the dust settling or the energy just calming down, and feel it within your body. It's a connection between your internal feelings and what's going on with this energy on the external. So you can create things to help. You can have a dial that you dial down. You can unplug something so that the energy just calms down. You can focus on your inside and just collect yourself and calm. Take some deep breaths and calm down. You can add colors. You can create a vacuum cleaner hose and vacuum away some of the things that maybe aren't serving you. Be creative. That's the whole idea about the Magic Carpet Ride, is you're using your imagination and your creative intuition to change things up for yourself. Now this is a place that you can come back to anytime. So when we get off and you're like, I saw this, or I noticed this, or I experienced this and I want to experience again, you can just bring yourself back here. Okay, and the last thing we can do within the space is if you just stand up nice and straight within this space and just imagine either the sun or a light of a color that really makes you feel good. And just stand in the presence of that light and let it connect with your insides. Fill the room, fill your body. Okay. And then when you feel settled, we're going to go ahead and find the door out of the room and out of your building and back down your path to your body. And when you feel like you're inside your body, just pretend you have footy pajamas that you're putting on, so you're putting your feet in and your hands in and really like zipping yourself up inside of this precious body that you're having this physical experience in. And then you can take a deep breath and open your eyes. So if you had something happen that you want to remember, go ahead and write down anything. And also, if you'd like to share any of your experience with the group, you can write it in the comments. And yes, today, well, actually yesterday I started announcing the new phase of the program. The Magic Carpet Ride it'll be starting next month. It's the 7th of March. That's our first day of orientation. And this time it's going to be a continuous sign up. So once we start, we're just going to keep going. And I have so much appreciation for the group that's going already, because you're just teaching me so much of what works and what doesn't, but it's all so good. So if anybody is listening today and you're interested in the Magic Carpet program, go ahead and reach out to me. I'm going to be sharing more information about it. And I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I hope this helps you feel like you're not alone if you feel scared, because you're not alone. And I just give everybody props for any amount of walking through your fear that you do every day. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Oh, hold on, my thing wasn't going and everything just came up. Hold on. Heather, Isaac just said, I'm comfy. That's awesome. Megan, my dog would not let me mind trip. Those animals, yesterday I had a lot of problems with animals. We'll have a replay. It'll be here. Shauna, holy cow, that was intense. Heather, we love you. Hannah, trip report. My path is usually grave and crystals. It was mossy forest dirt path today. I was immediately greeted by a red stag. Beautiful. Notice red berries, maybe holly. As you said, make a noise and I shuffled leaves with my feet. Immediately after that, I walked and had a spiral of leaves blown behind me by the wind until I got to my building. When I explored my building, I was thrilled to find I had a huge glass greenhouse, tons of plants. My energy was bright and yellow and gold and shining, and we held hands and shared energy. Hannah, that is amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I love to hear your stories. So if anybody's ever like, I don't know if I should share it, please share it. I love to share. I love to hear what happens. Shauna, hugs to you. Karen, thank you. Shauna, thank you. Thank you. Gypsy, thank you. All right, you guys, have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm here if you have any questions. And just keep, I was going to say keep moving, but if you need to sit down, but don't give up. All right, have a beautiful day. Bye.